Halton's a company that operates in over 33 countries around the world.
In most European countries, US, Canada, South America, Mexico, and Brazil. And Asia, we have operations in China, Malaysia, Korea, Japan. We do ventilation solutions and equipment for very high demanding spaces, such as oil and gas rigs, cruise ships. We're the major technology provider for kitchen ventilation for professional kitchens.
The biggest challenge is that you don't act by yourself. You act with a network of people.
We're all over the world. In that sense, trying to keep everybody on the same page becomes a challenge.
I worked in what I called an organized mess. Piles everywhere.
It's just being busy. And getting caught in that day-to-day is so active, and we have to react so quickly.
Constantly having all of that gravel thrown at us, and it's really sifting through and finding out what are the most important things to the company that are going to make a big impact.
What's the most important thing for us to accomplish? What are our Q2s? Using the 5 choices, living the 5 choices, and teaching the 5 choices was the most effective time for me.
Common communication and utilizing the verbiage of the quadrants and big rocks and gravel and rolls.
Someone will say something to you and you think, big rock or gravel? And you kind of use that lingo. Hey, you're throwing a lot of gravel at me.
We've implemented something called a big rock report. And it's something for our regional sales managers, making sure they're taking some time each week to focus on what's important and not so much caught in the gravel.
We actually have monthly sessions with our department, and we call those our Q2 sessions. Those are times where we try to focus on the things that are very important.
I know that Heikki is extremely serious about the 5 choices. He's actually developed a calendar for all of our desks that breaks down the different quadrants, explains what those quadrants are, as well as what the 5 choices are. And that is on the desk of every employee that we have.
For us, this timing was excellent because we had just introduced Office 365.
There's a lot of hidden gems that 5 choices training brings out of Microsoft Outlook.
Learning to use it for other things besides email was really critical, and that made a big difference for us.
It's really allowed us to step back and making sure we're focusing on some of the newer players in the market and some of the newer customers that we haven't serviced in the past.
I think the one thing we saw as we measured it was this increase in the Q2 score by 31%, which means that people spend 31% more time on important but not urgent issues. And at the same time, we saw the decrease in the other quadrants that weren't so important.
I'm traveling 30% less, but business in those specific areas I'm responsible is really growing.
We're able to more rapidly come to decisions, more rapidly understand situations, and more rapidly to come up with responses.
I think a big difference that I've seen because of the 5 choices training would be the technology aspect. You know, not allowing your technology to consume you, to rule you. Before, we were an organization that carbon copied 10 parties on every email, and I feel like now people are really evaluating what that carbon copy means to not only themselves, but everyone else's productivity.
They're happier in their work, they focus on what's important, so it makes a difference for the whole company.
Having that time to reflect and making sure we're focusing on the things that are important and not just the day-to-day has helped us quite a bit.
The 5 choices has made a huge impact not just on my professional work life, but also at home. I'm able to, when I'm at work, be the most efficient that I can, get those big rocks tackled so that when I go home, I'm able to focus on my family.
You can never say exactly what the total impact is, but we have done well. We have had record years, and we have increased our sales in most of our units. It's been a good time for us overall as a company.